morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi. As always, we'll just give everybody a couple minutes to come on into class. And your Shavasana. Hi. How's it going? You can get yourself settled into your Shavasana. And just start to connect with you. I think I'm back, right? Are we good, you guys? Okay. I think we should be okay. Alright, so we'll get started. We have a Moto practice together, and it'll be about 60 minutes. You rest when you need to, you drink water when you need to. Bye. And you just take the practice at your own pace. So let's head on into our Shavasana. So you get yourself nice and comfortable, feet wide, arms out wide. The shoulders have tucked underneath you. You start to notice your breath. You take a nice big breath in to let your belly rise. Long breath out. So your belly will fall. Inhale. Exhale. You keep these nice deep breaths with you throughout your entire practice. You use them as your guide to move through every posture. Alright, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles, circle your wrists, roll them one way and roll them the other way. Draw your legs together, keep them long on the mat, arms reach up over your head. Big stretch. So you can yawn, you can sigh, you can let out a deep exhale, whatever feels good in this super long stretch. And you relax back down. Knees come into your chest, you give yourself a squeeze. You pull your legs in nice and tight. Rock from side to side or make circles with your knees, whatever feels good, natural here. Reach your right arm up over your head and roll on over to your right side. Push your left hand into the floor. Bring yourself on up to stand, right up towards the top of your mat. We'll find our mountain pose, so you let your toes touch, your heels come slightly apart, your shoulders slide down your back, your palms open up. Your feet push into the mat, legs are really active, core is strong, arms are engaged. A strong, stable mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Interlace your fingers and extend your hands down towards the floor. Inhale, arms reach forward, and your gaze will follow your knuckles. Exhale, palms touch. Hands draw down. Fingers interlace as you reach to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out through your mouth. Let's take two more. Okay, last one. Fill up with as much air as you can. And just let it go. Hands release. You bring your hands onto your hips. Weight over into your left foot. Right knee bends and opens up to the side. You can place the sole of your right foot to your inner ankle, to your calf, maybe all the way up to your inner thigh. And once you have found some balance, you can now bring your hands to heart center. Your palms meet in front of your chest. And there's some gentle pressure between them. So your arms are engaged, your shoulder blades draw together. You found a still spot to rest your gaze. Find that focus with your eyes. And notice how you have an easier time balancing. You grow tall when you breathe in. You're grounded when you breathe out. Hands to hips, knee forward, and foot down to the mat. Weight into your right foot now, left knee bends, open that left foot up, and you find somewhere to rest your left foot along your right leg. Again, once you are ready, once you have balance, hands to heart center. See if you can bring some activity to your core so you engage those muscles. You can feel yourself grow tall when you do that. Your foot pushes into your leg back into your foot. Super active through that lower part of your body too. One more breath. Knee forward, hands to hips, foot releases down, and arms come down alongside you. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale to interlace your fingers and release through your index fingers so they point up. Push your feet into the floor, legs are super active. Inhale, lift up out of your waist. Exhale, float on over to the right side for your crescent moon. Create this nice gentle curve in your body to bring a stretch along the left side. Your shoulders are nice and square, so tuck that bottom shoulder under, open up through your left. Your breath moves deep into the left side of your body. Rise back up to center. Take an inhale, drop those shoulders away from your ears. Exhale over to the left. And you find the curve the other way. If you find having your feet close together is a little sore on your low back, you just move them apart a little bit. Widen your base. Your hands reach over to the left, your hips sway to the right. Rise back up to center, release your grip, arms down by your side. Oh. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, arms reach out in front of you at shoulder height. They're nice and parallel to the floor, and your feet come to about hip distance apart. Take a bend in your knees, reach your bum back, chest stays lifted. Powerful pose. So you sit down into the strength of your legs. Wherever you feel your thighs start to work, that's where you want to hold this posture. Your weight is back into your heels, so toes are just light on the mat. Arms are active too. Feel that lift in your chest. You're tall. Let's take 2 more breaths. Can you sit a little lower on this last one? Awesome. Rise up onto the tips of your toes. So you lift your heels off the mat as high as you can get them. Keep your legs straight. or start to bend at your knees to challenge your balance in awkward pose. So just like we had in our tree pose, find somewhere to lock your gaze. Helps your balance so much. Move with breath. Rise all the way back up, arms down, feet down. And you step your feet a little bit closer together now. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, right arm draws underneath your left. You twist, tie your arms up to grab for opposite wrists or palms, or you can take hold of opposite shoulders. Bend your knees, right leg comes up, crosses over top of your left thigh. Eagle. You have squeezed your thighs together, no space between them. Now you can take your foot to wrap around your standing leg. You can let your toes hover, or you can rest your toes down on your mat. Your elbows lift up really high, right up in line with your shoulders. You feel tall through your upper body. And release, right foot to the mat, arms reach up overhead. Left arm draws underneath your right this time, twist tie yourself up over here, whatever works. Knees bend, left leg up, over top of your right. You find that squeeze together of your legs again. No space between the thighs. Your core is strong. Feel your left arm push up into your right arm push back down. Everything is active in this posture. And can you square your hips up a little bit more? Pull that left hip back, push your right hip forward. Last breath. Release. Foot to the floor, arms sweep up overhead, your palms touch, and your hands come down to heart center. So zip your legs up nice and tight if you're not already there. Bring your ankles to touch, bring your knees to touch. Sit down into the strength of your legs, bum back, head forward. Inhale long through your spine. Exhale, you twist. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, or you can bring your right forearm across your thighs and place your left hand up onto your lower back for your prayer twist. So both are great options. As long as you get that little twist through the spine, you're perfect. Do a little check-in with your knees. So that right knee is way ahead of your left. Pull it back in line. Pull your right hip back too. Look for length as you breathe in. Twist as you breathe out. One more. Amazing. Come on back to center. Reach all the way up. Lift, lengthen through your body. Hands back down to your heart. Sit down to the strength of your legs again. Bum back, head forward. Long when you breathe in. Twist when you breathe out. Left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Or again, forearm across thighs. Right hand would be on your lower back now. So I'm going to take the modified version on this side. And maybe that's what you want to do too. This side might be a little bit tighter. So you listen. What will feel good here? Inhale for length. Exhale, you twist. Sink down into your strong legs for one more breath. All right, come on back to center. Hands reach up, lengthen. Release your hands down. So the heel of your hands now comes to rest on either side of your tailbone, and your fingers point to the floor like you're tucking your hands into your back pockets. Push your feet into the mat, legs are strong, core is active. Inhale, you lift up through your heart. Exhale, you lift your gaze. Standing back bend. Lots of focus on that heart lift. You can feel like there is a string attached to the middle of your chest and someone is pulling it up. Slowly lift, come out of that curved spine. You can grab a sip of water if you'd like, and we'll meet back up at the top of our mats. At the top of your mat, your feet are about hip distance apart. Your hands come onto your hips, your elbows point to the back of the room, you bend your knees, and you hinge yourself forward. Passive forward fold. So your arms hang down, your shoulders hang down, your head hangs down. You're super heavy. And say hello to your hamstrings. How do they feel right now? Bend your knees as much as you need to plant your hands into the mat and take a long step back with your right foot onto the tips of your right toes. Your toes push into the floor, your back heel lifts up really high. Front knee right over top of your front ankle. When that's set, you lift your chest and you reach your arms back. Runner's lunge. You have that huge lift of the back heel, like you are launching yourself forward. You create a really long line from your back heel through the crown of your head. Take your gaze about 3 feet in front of your mat, long through your neck too. And that back leg is super active. From your heel right up to your glute. Turn on every single muscle. Last breath. Hands release down, right knee comes down, untuck those back toes and float your hips towards your heel. Find a stretch for the back of your left leg. And you stop your hips from falling whenever you feel the stretch in your left leg. So hips might be really high, hips might be all the way down. You can round, you can tuck your chin, whatever feels good. Walk yourself back into your forward fold, up at the top of your mat. Runner's lunge on the other side now. Take that long step back with your left foot. Toes down, heel high, front knee over top of front ankle. When your base is ready, lift your chest, reach your arms back. Runner's lunge over here. The back of your left knee is shooting up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Activate all those muscles in the back leg to keep it straight and strong. Arms are just as active. They reach alongside you. Triceps are engaged. Tons of space across your chest. Shoot energy through the tips of your fingers. You can squeeze your fingers together. You can shoot your fingers apart. 2 more. Amazing. Hands come down, left knee comes down, float your hips back. Find that stretch for the back of your right leg. Round, tuck the chin. Maybe flex your toes up towards your face if you need a little bit extra. You just breathe into what you're feeling. The stretch that you've created for the back of your right leg. Yourself back up into that forward fold, bent in half at the top of your mat. We rise together, hands to hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, float yourself up the rest. Take a step back with your right foot, about 3 or 4 feet. You want your right toes pointed towards the top right corner of your mat and your back heel pushed into the floor. Hips are square. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, gently bend into the front knee. Warrior 1. We want that back heel pushed into the floor. So if your back heel is lifted up, maybe you need to shorten your stance so you can really root it down. Your core is engaged. So if you're really flaring your low ribs out, pull in. Feel strong through that middle part of your body. Let's open into warrior two. Your left arm reaches forward, your right arm reaches back. You heel to your back foot. Find a nice long stance. Front toes forward, back toes point to the side. Lunge into your front leg. Your gaze can rest forward over your front middle finger. You could look over to the side if that felt better on your mat. And both of your arms are strong, so don't forget about that back arm. Lift it up too. Then see if you can find ease in the shoulders. Drop them away from your ears. Flip your palms, thumbs up, left wrist to the inside of your left knee. Right arm extends up overhead. Triangle pose. Just a gentle tip forward of the hips. Hand stays right by your knee. Gaze up, gaze down, wherever feels good for you. Breathe into the space. Rise back up into warrior two. Lunge if you've lost it. 2 breaths. Front leg straightens, hands to hips. Heel toe your way up into your warrior one. Shorter stance, arms up, a little bend into the front knee. You breathe. Hands come to your hips, pivot onto your right toes, and step on up to the top of your mat. Warrior on the other side now. Take that step back with your left foot. We start with our warrior one stance here. Angle on the back foot, heel rooted down. Arms up, gentle bend into the front knee. You have this really solid base. All 4 corners of both of your feet connect you to your mat, root you down. Strong legs, strong core, strong arms. Open up into your warrior two now. Right arm forward, left arm back, heel to your back foot, long stance, lunge into your front leg. You try and even out the weight between your feet. So if you're really just leaning forward, push down through the pinky toe side of your back foot. Activate through your back leg as well, especially that back glute. You feel tall when you breathe in, strong when you breathe out. Palms flip, thumbs up, right wrist inside of right knee, left arm extends up overhead, triangle pose over here. Your hand is nowhere near the floor. You stay lifted through both sides of your upper body. Look for that length. If you want to twist a little bit further, you press your forearm into your thigh and feel your left shoulder peel down your back. Rise back up, warrior two, lunge, 2 breaths. Front leg straightens, hands to hips, heel toe your way back up. Find your warrior one for the last time. Settle yourself in. You find your way there when you're ready. And just notice how your body feels. Send breath where it needs breath. Hands to your hips, pivot onto your left toes, step on up to the top of your mat, bend your knees, fold yourself forward, passive forward fold again. So you hang down heavy. Shoulders down, head down. Take your gaze back between your legs. Let your head hang. You can reach for opposite elbows, move on into ragdoll. Softly sway from side to side. Using your whole upper body, not just your arms. You are welcome to stay passive, or you can move on into an active version. You take your index, middle fingers, wrap them around your big toes from the inside. Palms face each other. Inhale, hips reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull your chest closer to your thighs. Inhale for length. Exhale to pull. Elbows move out to the sides. You're using the strength of your arms. This is an active posture. There's work happening. Let go of whatever you're holding on to. And slowly lift yourself up to stand. You can do hands to hips. You can walk hands up the front of your legs. Whatever works for you. No rush to stand. Let's take a breath in mountain pose together. Inhale. Exhale through your mouth. You're welcome to grab another sip of water, and we'll meet towards the back middle of our mats for a couple more balancing postures. All right, we start with toppling tree. Hands come to your hips. Step forward with your right foot, and your left toes will just rest gently on the mat behind you. You bring tons of strength into that back leg. You might even feel your toes start to hover. Once that leg is active, you reach your arms back alongside you. Your toe can stay down on the floor, or you can start to connect to the lift of your back leg. And as your leg lifts, your chest will float forward. You try and keep a nice long line from your back heel through the top of your head. Bring a little bend into that standing knee, work into strength there too. Foot down, chest lifts, arms extend up this time. Step forward with your left foot, right toes now rest down behind you. Strength into that back right leg. Arms back when you're ready. And maybe start to feel that lift of your back leg. As your leg lifts, chest flows forward, and you move with your breath. Long as you breathe in. Strong as you breathe out. Foot comes down, chest lifts, arms extend up. Right arm stays lifted. Left arm stays lifted. Right arm drops down alongside you, and your thumb points to the back of your space. Pick up your right foot from the inside. Dancer's pose. We start with our knees side by side. And then you start to move. Inhale, lift up, grow tall. Exhale, kick your foot into your hand. Start to create a little back bend. Feel that lift on every inhale. The kick on the exhale. Come back in if you fall out. Let's hold for 3, 2, and 1. Softly release. Let that go. Right arm up, left arm down alongside you. You pick up your left foot from the inside now. Again, find your balance, knees side by side, and then choose to move. Inhale to lift. Exhale to kick. So all the movement happens from the kick of your foot into your hand. Tons of strength in that left leg. Kick, hold, 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Release down. Land in mountain pose if you need a breath. Grab some water and make your way into middle Shavasana. And come back to your deep belly breath. And you feel yourself land right here. The standing series is done. There's no need to think about it anymore. You can stay right here if your body needs a little longer and rest. There's no need to move if this feels amazing. For the floor series, you draw your legs closer together, keep them long on the floor. Bend your right leg in towards your chest and take hold of your shin or onto the back of your thigh. Wind relieving pose. You create this compression along the right side of your body with the pull in of your right leg. You find some space when you breathe in. Connect back to that squeeze as you breathe out. Release your grip, right leg goes long, left leg bends in now, take hold of shin or back of thigh on the side. Find that pull in along the left. That nice squeeze, a little massage for your digestive organs. You might like to find that gentle flow, that gentle rhythm with your breath. Bring your right leg in to meet your left, double wind relieving pose. Both of your legs pull in super tight now. Knees can be together, knees can be really wide apart. Pull in really tight, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then softly release. Soles of your feet come back onto the floor. Right foot comes up and crosses over top of your left thigh. You flex your right toes back towards your right knee to help protect your knee joint. And we'll start our thread the needle. You take your right hand, push your right thigh back. If you feel a stretch by doing this, please stay right here. If you need to go a little bit further to feel that stretch, right arm reaches through the space you created and you take hold of the back of your left thigh. The stretch that you look for is in your right hip, your right glutes. And you try to stay relaxed through your head and through your shoulders. So the focus of this posture can really be that stretch you feel on the right side. One more big breath. Release your grip, uncross your ankle, right foot onto your mat, left foot up, crosses over top of your right thigh. Find that flex back of the left foot. You can start this side by just pushing the left leg back. Maybe that's all you need here. Go further if you need more. Left arm through, take hold of the back of your right leg. your right knee is really close to the middle of your body, can you move it out towards your right shoulder? Notice how that changes the stretch. And as long as it's not painful, just breathe into that sensation. One more. Release your grip, uncross your ankle, bring up both of your feet to hover, shins parallel to the floor, knees right over top of your hips. If your knees fall in towards your chest, reach them back, bring them right over top of your hips. Hands come onto the front of your thighs. Push your hands into your thighs, and your thighs push right back into your hands. The harder that you push your hands to thighs, thighs to hands, the more challenging this becomes, and you should feel this in your core. Core exercise, core strengthening. The only thing that makes this easier is your breath. So try and keep breathing through this entire posture. And you take it where you need to go. Push really hard, or maybe pull back a little bit today if that feels better. You might even like to lift your head and shoulders up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Softly let that go. Knees can come into chest, or you can find your constructive rest pose. Feet as wide as your mat. Knees fall into touch. And take a couple breaths. Bring the soles of your feet back to the floor. Feet are right underneath your knees now, and your heels tuck in super tight to your bum. Reach your arms back alongside you. Push your feet into the floor. Start to lift your hips up so you can walk your hands, arms, shoulders underneath your body and interlace your fingers under your bum. Push your feet down into the floor. Keep every part of your foot rooted down. Engage through your quads. Lift your hips up higher. Bridge pose. Your arms push into the floor. That helps bring lift into your chest so it can rise closer to your chin. Imagine there's a block between your thighs. Squeeze that block. Lift your hips high. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Softly let that go. Come down. One vertebrae at a time. Reach your left arm up over your head. Roll on over to your left side. And pause for a moment. Feel your breath move into your back body. Continue rolling over onto your stomach now. You bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your elbows lift off the floor, they point up. The tops of your feet rest on the mat, and so does your forehead or your chin. Push the tops of your feet into the floor so your legs are active. You can feel your knees hover a little bit. And now start to peel your chest off the mat using just the strength of your back muscles. So there's no pressure into your hands. You can have your hands down on the floor as support, but you're not pushing into them to lift your chest. All the lift comes from your strong back and that grounding down of your feet. This is your baby cobra. Gaze down towards the floor, long neck. Softly release. Reach your arms back alongside you. Interlace your fingers over your bum, or just reach your hands towards the back of your mat. Reach your arms back, pull your chest up, and now your legs can lift up off the floor too for your full locust. So from your shoulders all the way down to the tips of your toes. Strong through your entire body, really working hard. The more your arms reach back, the more your chest lifts. When chest lifts, so do your legs. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release, arms alongside you, right ear to the floor. Look on over to the left. You can revisit your baby cobra, you can revisit your full locust, or you can come on into a floor bow. Head draws back to center, you kick your heels up close to your bum, and you take hold of your feet or your ankles from the outside. Kick your feet into your hands. Pull your chest up off the mat. Create this beautiful curve through your body. The kick of your feet into your hands is what lifts your chest up. Super strong legs. Kick, hold for 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Release. Left ear to the floor. Bring yourself into a wide-legged child's pose. Knees about as wide as your mat, toes touch, hips sink back, arms forward. You find somewhere to rest your head. You let yourself be really passive. Elbows rest down. Your heart melts through your arms. Hips are heavy. We'll activate now. Hands reach up towards the top of your mat. Elbows lift off the floor, shoulders engage. Pull yourself up, tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over top of your knees. Tuck your toes, send your hips towards the ceiling. Downward facing dog. You can bend your knees, move your hips around. Whatever feels good to get you comfortable in this first down dog. So we will flow through 2 modifications. You can always come down and watch me flow through them, or you're welcome to move your body through the 2 different options as well, and just see how you feel today. Inhale, float forward to a high plank. Exhale, knees lower, untuck your toes, and you bring your entire body down to the floor, one straight line. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, push back through your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So that's our flow, option 1. Option 2, inhale forward. Exhale, knees lower, untuck your toes. This time we stop at a hover. Inhale, chest lifts, arms extend, feet push into the mat, up dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. So you pick your favorite version of your flow. You can choose either one of those 2 options. Maybe you have knees lifted. And let's flow a few more times together. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Forward, high plank. Lower, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. 2 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Okay, last one. I'll just cue your first breath. Inhale. Awesome, great work. You can stay up and down dog for a couple breaths, or you can pop right into your child's pose again. And you can modify this child's pose however you'd like, so wide-legged, closed-legged, arms in front of you, arms back alongside you, whatever works. You start to calm your body with your breath. Hands to your knees, push your hands into the floor, lift yourself up to seated. Let's grab a sip of water, and we'll meet up at the top of our mats. Your knees come about as wide as your mat, and your toes touch underneath you. Your hands fall back behind your body, fingertips point forward. Hips lift, and then you place them down about an inch in front of where they were. This is Sleeping Hero, and what you look for is a stretch for the front of your thighs. If you feel that here, this is where you stay. If you need more, you can start to lower onto your elbows. Maybe you sink all the way down to the floor. Wherever you are, you just want to feel a nice stretch along the front of your legs. You take your breath all the way down to your knees. Last big breath. If you're all the way down, reach your hands to your shins, push your forearms into the mat, hands push into the mat. You come on up to seated. Your knees draw closer together now, and you stand up onto them. So your hips are right over top of your knees. Hands come to either side of your tailbone like we had in our standing back bend. And you can choose to untuck your toes or tuck your toes. We move into camel, another back bend. So engage your glutes, your quads, your core. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, gaze lifts. Just like in the standing back bend, you focus on the lift of your heart. Feel that as you breathe in. Look for ease when you breathe out. Last breath. Slowly bring yourself up. Come to sit down on your heels, rest your hands on your thighs, tuck your chin, and let that go. When you feel ready, bring yourself up into your downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up off the floor. Knee draws towards your right wrist. Ankle draws over towards your left wrist. And your left leg extends out nice and long behind your body as you set up for pigeon. Try and find somewhere comfortable for your hips to rest. And you can stay up in your proud pigeon or now begin to walk your chest forward and then down for your sleeping pigeon. When you move into your sleeping pigeon, try and find somewhere to rest your head. So use your hands, a pillow, your water bottle, the floor if you're all the way down there. This is a very deep hip opener. Feel that on the right side right now. You stay focused on your breath. Keep your body calm. So you can feel the benefits of this posture. Let's take 2 more breaths. Push your hands into the mat, lift your chest up, tuck your left toes and bring yourself up into downward facing dog. Let that side of pigeon go. When you are ready for the other side, left leg lifts up, knee towards left wrist, ankle over towards your right. Shimmy your right leg back long. Set yourself up. Find your sleeping pigeon when you're ready. a quick scan through your body. Notice if there is tension. It doesn't need to be there. A jaw clench, a shoulder shrug. Let it go. Melt just that little bit more. Use your breath to stay calm, stay focused. We've got 2 more. Push your hands into the mat, lift your chest, right toes tucked, lift on up into downward facing dog. Let that go. Come onto your knees. Sit over onto one of your hips, then onto your bum as you set up for a modified rabbit. You bring the soles of your feet to the floor and knees are bent. You get a really strong grip of your hands. That might be on the front of your shins. That might be taking your hands behind your thighs, grabbing hold of your hands, or crossing your arms, reaching for opposite shins. Wherever you are, find that strong grip. Lean your body back away from your legs. Then begin to round in. Tuck your chin. Find that nice stretch between your shoulder blades. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. Slowly bring yourself up, release, let that go. Right leg stays bent in, left leg goes long, and you place the sole of your right foot on the inside, or it can come to the outside of your left leg. Right arm comes behind you, and you place it on your mat as a little kickstand to find a really tall spine. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, twist. Arm wraps around your leg, or you can press your elbow into your thigh. For a seated spinal twist. You feel tall on your breath in. Look for a twist on your breath out. Bring yourself back to center. Uncross your right leg, take it long. Left leg bends in, left foot inside or outside. Left hand behind you, sit up nice and tall again. Inhale, exhale, twist. Tall on the breath in, move on the breath out. Come on, back to center, uncross that left leg, and we'll move into a cobbler's pose. So you bring the soles of your feet to touch, and you let your knees fall out to the side. We'll go right into passive, so you let your upper body just fall forward over your legs. Round down through the shoulders, drop your head, no grip through your hands, very heavy in the upper body. You send your breath to wherever you're feeling the stretch. Slowly stack one vertebrae on top of the next. Chin lifts last. Hands to the outside of your thighs. Close your legs up. Give yourself a squeeze. And then find a comfortable seated position where you can sit up nice and tall. You might sit cross-legged. You might sit on a block, maybe on your knees. Really whatever works in your body to have a really tall spine. For our Kapalabhati breathing, we are sending the air at the base of our lungs out and pulling fresh air in. So you have your belly and you snap it in towards your spine. Shoot the air out. Fresh breath pulls in all by itself. All right, so looks and sounds something like this. Nice and still through the shoulders, that snap in of the stomach. Okay, let's take a big breath in together. Exhale through your mouth, let it go. Inhale to prepare, belly fills. Exhale, begin. 10, 9, 4, 3, 2, let it go. Inhale, arms reach up, fill yourself with air. Exhale, palms touch, hands to heart. One more, inhale. Exhale. Close your practice however you would like. Take a grateful sip of water and then turn to lie on your back for final Shavasana. Get yourself nice and heavy. Let your mat support you. You find stillness for these last few moments we have together. So you stay here for as long as you need to, as long as you can. Enjoy this rest, this peace. As always, don't forget to check out our Moto Yoga online and use our code LDN. Thank you so much for joining me today. So happy to see you on your mat. Namaste.